there's always that thing, isn't there, of families. There are bonds that are very strong and loyalties and all those things that hold the family together, and then they're usually balanced by pain and misery and I really haven't got time to go into it because it'll take all day.
How do you get on with your brothers and sisters and your mum and your dad?
I don't get on with my sister very well.
No, I don't get on with my brother, and I don't get on with my brother at all.
But I get on with my mum and dad fine.
I sometimes get on with my mum and dad. They sometimes get really bumpy.
Introduce yourselves, first of all.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Keith.
We're brothers.
Brothers, man, by blood, not by just the name. As brothers go, he's cool. As his unique ways, let's say. You know? Right. As everybody does.
How your family makes you feel it's a roller coaster of emotion, isn't it, really? I mean, some things are really joyous moments and others are fraught with desperation. It's the roller coaster ride of life, isn't it, really?
That and my wife and my daughter and I live.
Monica's got 2 children as well, but hers live one
at home and one in Reading. I've got a son in Reading.
How did you feel when they sort of left the...
Well, he left the nest. He didn't come back, really.
Is that one of yours as well?
Yeah.
I've got 3 children, 2 girls and a boy, and then I've got a boy and girl which are twins, and then
I've got twin girls, and they've got
4 each.
4 children each. So I've got 8 grandchildren from my daughters.
And at the minute I've got 3 grandsons, and I'm hoping for a granddaughter soon, I hope.
Well, he's got 5, and I've actually got, here I've got Jasmine, I've got Ken, Charlotte and Matt, and I have another 3 in Swindon. So I've got J. Jerome and Jessica in Swindon. Yeah. So I've got 7.
Yeah.
7 meals to get at.
Yeah.
Plus our own. Plus I travel backwards and forwards in between both, like.
I can see that. This day in the morning, it is sunny.
Is it?
When I stand on my brother's toe, by accident, he tries to hit me in the head on purpose. Like this. Oh!
I normally give me a little punch, and I give my daughter a little hug. And that's it really, and the sort of arm of Jodie, the arm rough and ready, and they normally give us a bit of a punch back or a bit of a squeeze sort of thing, and it's just great to see them.
My eldest daughter will be 68 this year.
And
she is beautiful.
Is she?
Still beautiful.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, every child is beautiful to their mother.
Oh, no. I've got 3. I wouldn't say they're all beautiful.
Oh.
You can't tell what your children will look like when they're inside there, can you? I mean, what's going to come out? Well, you know there's going to be a bit of you and a bit of her, and you hope what comes out is going to be the best bits of you and the best bits of her. And if they could only come out showing the best bits of both of you, then they'd be better than you, wouldn't they? That's what we want. We want all our children to be better than what we are now.
So how many chicks have you hatched then, do you think, over the years?
Hundreds and hundreds. Hundreds, haven't we?
And they must be so tiny.
It's amazing.
Well, no, that's huge. I was so surprised, yes. I mean, the eggs was about so. And it came out huge.
Wow.
You just collect them, don't
And
you?
once you start, yes, more appears and more you get.
When the baby was born, I looked at the baby and it was all wrinkly and old looking. And I thought, ooh,
What is that?
My son's diabetic, and one day he gets highs and lows, and one day he was really depressed with his diabetes, and he kept saying to me and my wife, how come I'm diabetic, my sister's not? So I tried to cheer him up. I says, well, you know what it is? I says, I'll swap you any time you want. I'll have your diabetes and you can have my Geordie accent. And you know what he said? He says, no, he said, I'd rather be diabetic than have a Geordie accent. I said, you're joking, aren't you? I said, well, it's great, isn't it? It's great.
He's very intelligent. He knows everything you're telling him. That's what I like mostly about him. You can tell him to go to his bowl and he'll go and he'll pick out a treat himself and he'll wander off and he'll eat it. And whatever you tell him, he'll understand sometimes better than a human. And he never ever does it on the pavement.
Oh, go for that. I say I do.
Twinkle little star.
Yeah, you know that song, do you?
Baba black sheep.
No, what's the other one? Twinkle little what?
Hide you anymore.
What's that big thing in the sky?
Yes, sir, 3 bags full. One for the
You can't shut her up when she gets going.
One for the day.
They just show that they love you. It's like all of them, isn't it? They all got characters and they all show that, well, they rely on you to look after them, obviously. And I only got to say, come on bedtime, and they'll come and they follow me. They go for walks.
Really?
Walk around the fields, walk, they just follow me.
I've been very lucky to have children. Well, so many.
2 husbands you've had, haven't you, or 3?
4 children.
How many husbands?
Oh, that's not the point. Nobody asked me how many husbands.
Yes,
you
but
will bring that up, which is
Add all
very
the children
wrong.
to one
No.
husband.
That's a subject that is private.
Ah. No. I've only had 2.
Oh, you've had 2? Well, I've only...
Children?
Oh, I thought you said husbands.
No,
then.
no.
I couldn't have a better dad. I couldn't look up to anybody. I couldn't see anybody telling me how to live my life any better than the way my dad did. And I hope I can be just as good to my own children. I try, but I don't think I can be. I don't think anybody could be as good as my dad. Oh, my dad's my hero, without a doubt, definitely.
That's it.
Yeah? Well, thanks a lot, man.
Right to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, only varies.
Mummy? Yes?
It's gone.
Okay, man. Can I have an ice cream?
Mum?
Yes.
Want ice cream?
Do you?
Yes. I want some one with that strawberry stuff nibbled over from the ice cream man.
What, a 99 you mean?
Yeah.
With the flake?
Oh, I could perhaps manage one of those.
Right.
A rainbow one.
No.
No, you don't want
No, because it's the animals, they don't talk
These
about
are
that.
jokes. Because we haven't got
they
much
do
time
fit
left.
by now.
Come on, I'm watching you.
Yeah.
Half an hour's gone, you haven't done nothing.
I think it's good to work because you get dignity from it, and I've done all kinds. I've worked in a hotel. I worked in this hotel in Teignmouth, and I'd be there at night, and you know, I'd work on the desk, I'd help in the kitchen, but I also clean toilets. And why not? I mean, I like different roles, and it just means I can channel the madness in different areas, you know.
I really look forward to going to work because I really enjoy working with people that have got difficulties and struggles, and I feel like I can make a difference.
I think just on a personal level, yeah, I do prefer provide a valuable service to them, definitely. I mean, it's not necessarily painful, but sometimes it can be a bit uncomfortable, me sort of like pulling at their cheek sometimes to get right to the back of the teeth. So enjoy the end result. I think that's what they'd enjoy.
Teamwork. That's one thing about it I like. I wouldn't like to work on my own.
It's over 100, isn't it?
Well, it used to be more than 200.
We've lost quite a few.
Because we're all getting older now, look.
Early on, when you're young, you kind of get too excited and you use up so much energy getting nervous. As you get older, now that I'm older, you just try and stay nice. You try and stay calm. Go away.
Now, when I was very young and first went with the Folks, if there was 4 or 5 hooligans, sort of standing in the way, they would be told to move. And God help them if they didn't move. They'd get a bite on the bum, and probably a smack round the ear hole with a cape, from the policeman.
The thing about being in a lab is you're your own boss. You're free to sort of run several things at once, and it's a very social atmosphere in many labs.
Yes,
and ours was a
important.
great place to work. And in some labs you can have music playing, because a lot of what you're doing isn't using your brain at the time.
They use mice, don't they, for things?
What, eyeliner?
It's not nice, really, is it?
What, lipstick on a Yorkshire Terrier?
Oh, no.
I think we should all be in clinical trials. We have a moral obligation. Fortunately, I've never been asked, but I take so many drugs anyhow. I am a clinical trial.
You cannot have an effective working police dog which is non-aggressive. As they get older, all they want to do is be the leader of the pack. It's their instinct. And every now and again, he probably just challenges me for the leadership of the pack. So every now and again we have a little tete-a-tete.
I feel that if I've given my best performance and it's a good one, then obviously I get the reward, the pat on the back, knowing that you've tried to do your best for your coach. They've given you the training, the least you can do.
I do define goals and targets, but then when you get going, it's fun. It's just good fun, really. It doesn't feel like work. It just feels like you're just being really silly.
So sorry. My job is, I'm in the entertainment business, so, I'm a singer, actress, whatever. That means I do a lot of traveling. I have to fly to different countries sometimes.
I'm all right walking on the flat and downhill, but I can't go uphill. As soon as I start to go uphill, I get chest pain. It starts to tighten up. But what I do, where I live, there's a downhill slope down to what they call the co-op. I walk down there and come back on the bus.
It can be stressful, yes, as a runner, because you strive to...
When we work in a factory, we are looked after, aren't we? We have the dentist, the chiropodist, chest x-rays, get all our injections done and everything, without even going out of the factory, which is good.
The ideal weather for me is dry, about 65 to 68, I'm perfect. Anything over that or under that, I'm struggling, especially in cold mornings. I shouldn't really go out in cold mornings, I've been told. I shouldn't go out in cold mornings, I shouldn't go out in the wind, and also, I should, just do what I can do. And I'll say some days I can move mountains, the next day I can't do anything.
You start Monday, Tuesday, you do mornings. Wednesday, Thursday, you do afternoons. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you do nights. But I've done this, you don't know if you're coming or going. Every 2 days, you've got to change your sleep pattern. It's awful.
It is very repetitive.
Oh, yeah.
It's very repetitive.
The foreman's always watching you all
But we
the time, what you
couldn't
do.
wander about. We can't wander about. But if we make a mistake, then we will be severely reprimanded.
You hear about chefs being crazy. He was crazy. He would throw knives around. Thankfully, I didn't have a lot of dealings with him because I was, dealing on other sort of areas in the hotel, and I just kept out of his way. My friend got it in the neck.
I like that feeling of accomplishing something, but if I had a choice, I would rather not work and just have a really nice life. Yeah, I think sometimes you feel a bit like you're a slave to someone else, really.
But if you work every day and you're doing something you don't enjoy, then life must be so miserable, you know. And if you're doing something you don't enjoy, I don't know why you don't just give it up and do something you do enjoy, because, you know, you may as well enjoy life because you don't live for very long. So you may as well enjoy what you're doing when you are working. And I really enjoy what I do. And if I ever did something that I didn't enjoy, then I'd give it up immediately and do something that I really did enjoy, because I like to enjoy life, you know.
I'm looking for a job of a sort of clerical nature, administrative perhaps, preferably to do with customer relations.
When I retire from racing, I don't even like to think about it. I feel that each day I can run, touch wood, with injury-free conditions, then I'll run till I drop. Tactics are very important in a race.
I'm terrified of retirement. Terrified. I really like my work, and I don't want to retire now.
You can't be morbid, or you wouldn't be able to do the work. You've got to have a laugh, and a joke, you have a joke, you know. It's just you or them, isn't it? It is animal instinct there.
I think Feng Shui should be introduced to all office environments.
I'd like to have a go at trying to clean an elephant's tusks.
Can I just tell you something? That's not a human ear on the back of a mouse. That is one of the most grotesque misrepresentations that I know. It's a piece of cartilage shaped like a human ear, put into an epithelial covering. It's not a human ear.
What?
The best effective medicine is... I have no idea.
You see, I've had a lot of things wrong with me. I mean, I'm always going to the doctors, and you get there and you find out, you know, there's queues to wait all the time, isn't there? Most of the time, and then, well, I mean, doctors a lot of the time waiting in queues, and, well, I mean, most of the time you spend most of your time in the doctors waiting, don't you?
Well, I'm sorry, I'm one of these that goes to the doctor when it's generally necessary. I mean, I am one of these that goes for every pill, potion and tablet that there is. You know, if I know what's the matter with me, I mean, I expect the doctor to do something about it. I won't be fobbed off by them.
Doctors have always scared me because when I was born I nearly died. I have 50% chance of living when I was born, and was in a little incubator and all my eyes were covered and I was yellow, which was awful.
I rarely go to the doctor. The last time I did go, he thought I'd died because I haven't been for such a long time.
Doctors and I are great friends. I owe a lot to doctors. They've kept me alive. I've seen a lot of them. They've come, they've prodded me from top to bottom, in and out, every end, every part of my body. And they've cut me open, stitched me up, and done a pretty good job on me all over.
I'm the kind of person that's sort of a bit of a hypochondriac, and if I get a little sort of nagging pain or something, I automatically think it's something really serious. But then I never go to the doctor, really.
And you never shut up about it either.
And it's just kind of like typical bloke, I suppose, where...
It's not.
Should we row about it now?
Well, it's these heart palpitations I get. You see, you never know when they're going to come, and they just... You got your heart jumping about all over the place.
can't do with sputum, and I can't do very much with feet. I can't do anything with anybody's feet. I've all on doing anything with my own, and sputum really makes my stomach turn over. You know. I don't mind vomit.
I developed a funny lockjaw. You know, the dribbles coming out the side of my mouth. I couldn't speak, I couldn't chew. I just wanted to die. Took one look at me and said, "Oh, that's allergic reaction." He gave me my antidote and immediately my mouth just went, "Ugh." Back to normal.
That's what I got now. I've got throat swelling now. I've got the tablets for that at the moment as well.
I've took a lot of tablets all my life, about 23,000, and I'm still alive, but at the end of the day I think without them I'd have been dead.
I once had my head slammed in a door. That was good. I was saying goodbye to my friend and somebody slammed the door on my head, and it was my birthday, and I had to have 5 stitches in my head, so I've got them as well.
I mean, I could have had a DVT, couldn't I, laid in bed all that time, but I mean, as I said, they gave me an anticoagulant. Anyway, I'm here to tell the story, so there's people worse off than I am, and I can walk about all right.
I remember having a severe cold which didn't shift, and I shared a flat with a couple of vet students who dosed me with Famil syrup, the main active ingredient of which I believe is creosote. So I spent several days smelling like a fence post, but it did the job.
You see, I've had a lot of things wrong with me. There was big problems with my eyes at one stage. I went in about my eyes on a lot of times and had to go to see specialists. And you see that, but what they do is they clamp your head in a big clamp, and they want to bounce things on your eyeballs.
I had an eye operation quite a few years ago. I flew very quickly after I'd had the eye operation.
Well, you can't, I couldn't be doing with that, and so I'm pulling my head out of this clamp all the time.
And it was a real concern. I shouldn't have flown because it put too much pressure behind the eye.
That's another occasion when they told me I could just go on my own way, so I got thrown out of there as well.
I've fallen for a nurse, yeah. I fell for a nurse once. Little blonde, beautiful little blonde lady. It was quite nice, she was. Yes. I used to travel to Birmingham to see her on my old motorbike.
I had a blood test the other day, but I do not like needles. I don't like needles at all. I look away when I'm having an injection.
I'm fine with injections into any part of my body, but I won't have them in my mouth. And the reason is that I've
always been completely opposite. I love injections in my mouth.
Really?
I really quite like them. In fact, the more sort of intrusive the dentistry, the better I like it, really.
Well, I'm not keen on dentists now. I was the last in Britain to be gassed.
They didn't use enough gas, did they?
No, I mean, I did come round. But that's when they first started phasing gas out, because they said gas is too dangerous.
The big black mask. Oh, you can see it coming towards your face, and the smell of the rubber, and having all my bottom teeth filled without anaesthetic. Dentists, just brutal, really brutal.
Dr. Bewers, he was very good, that boy. I mean, I think he was the first one that told me, some of the many things that was wrong with me. I had a problem with the inner ear and asthma, what I had for a long time.
Got a small scar on my forehead where a child threw a brick at me. Well, it seemed like a brick at the time, but... I've got a scar here.
I have no scars whatsoever anywhere. Ever? In fact, you count that as a scar. It's only a little...
Well, it is a scar, yeah.
Well, I don't count it as a scar, so...
Do you not?
No.
I've got a scar on my elbow, and a scar on my other elbow, and a scar on my knee.
On my face, my legs, my stomach.
And a scar on my other knee, my tongue, my head.
My arms, wrists, hands, everywhere. There is no one part on my body that does not have a scar.
I don't think I've got any other scars. Not physical ones, mental ones, obviously. I've got a lot of them, but you can't see them because they're inside my brain.
I was injured badly once. Somebody kicked me in the forehead. Being very young, I got up and carried on and didn't think Has it done me much damage? For all I know, some of that damage may still be there. May still affect some of the things I do and some of the things I say.
I've broken all my toes, I've got a dodgy knee, I've busted both my ankles and bent my feet back round so they're next to my shins, broken my hand and my wrist, my collarbones 3 times, bashed my head, knackered my back. But it's all been worth it.
It's great. I love smiling, I love being happy and jovial, telling jokes, being the butt end of jokes, but hey, now I can do it with a mouthful of teeth and I'm really looking forward to it.
I've had crabs, they were good.
They got out of hand, didn't they?
They did, yeah. Ooh, hang on. Won't let anyone stick a thermometer. Ow!
Now it's a lot of talk, is what I find. Now, yeah. Sorry, what was the question again?